Brandon Benefield, Gerard Bonner, and Diana Michelle.
What's going on, everybody? It's that time of the week. It's Friday. You know what that means. It's time for your favorite podcast, the SHW podcast. This is our wrestling. I'm B-Double Brandon Benefield alongside the great GB Gerard Bonner, the beautiful Diana Michelle, and the one and only, well, the man who shocked us all, a surprise entrant in this year's RumbleJack, the one and only Bad News and Tattoos, Carlie Bravo. How's everybody doing this week?
What's happening? What's happening?
How's Carlie? Let's talk about Carlie.
That's what we care about. That's what we came for.
Man, how are you guys?
We're good.
We're great.
We're
wonderful.
I'm still buzzing off of last week's big RumbleJack, the 5th annual,
Yes.
and the fact that we had so many surprises. And one of the biggest ones was yourself showing up after
Yes.
a few months ago, I guess it was, that you
Mhm.
became All Elite. You became officially part of Ring of Honor with the Captain Sean Dean. Of course, now Trish Adora joining the infantry. So let's talk a little bit about that. What you've been up to since you left us, buddy.
Man, guys, I've been kicking ass and taking names, and I forgot everybody's names. I guess I've been just kicking ass. Yeah, we're back with a vengeance.
That's a long list, but
I love
You know it, baby. You know, I'm
love
chilling,
it.
guys. I'm working hard. You know, it's the air is a little different up there. You know, I'm rubbing shoulders with people. You know, I got people watching my matches who I never would have thought been watching my matches. I'm making friends, i.e. Trish. You know, me and Cap are locked in. We got a group now. We're a thing.
Yes.
You know, I've got cool smoke on my entrance and light effects. Like, hey, we're doing it, guys. We're doing it.
yes.
So I want to go back to that fateful day when we all thought that you were, getting ready to kick off the Jake the Snake Legacy tournament, and you're standing in the ring, and unbeknownst to me and everybody else, here comes your tag team partner, Sean Dean, to tell you those words that you are All Elite. Walk me through what's happening in your brain as all of this is going down.
To be honest with you, I had just had a spectacular entrance. And I was really locked in, probably one of my best ones yet, and I was really in. I thought we was going, and I was ready for the, I think it was in a triple threat match, correct?
That's
they had
right.
Me slated. They for some reason wanted to stack the odds against me, which, hey, let's just say that All Elite call came at the perfect moment because I was finna raise hell in Southern Honor. Okay, they stuck me in a triple threat. I had won the match before. I beat who did I beat? I beat Corey Hollis, and then I beat the other dude from the Scenic City, right?
Yes.
And then right,
Jaden Newman.
Right. And even in all my winnings, I didn't get a championship match. I got a Jake the Snake Legacy championship match, but I was finna start kicking Lunchable meat around here,
Yes.
And then the captain came, So, I was happy. I was extremely happy. I think the only bittersweet thing about it was I still had unfinished business. Like I was just like, I'm like, I'm gonna be all the way honest. Like, of course, I was ready to go. I was ready to get to the top, right? But like I even still like that's probably why I came back to RumbleJack too. Like I still got unfinished business at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was awesome. I miss, but I do miss you guys.
Yeah.
we
miss you.
Likewise.
We do. It was such a great joy to see you come through that curtain like that. Just
thank you, man.
I enjoyed calling your name so good.
The whole crowd going bravo, man! It was so cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The action builder was rocking. Well, real quick before we get into that, I do want to talk about. We've mentioned Trish Adora real briefly. Like, how cool is that? You guys, there you go. Yeah, got the
I
shout.
love it.
Gotta rep the gang. Gotta rep the gang.
Yeah, represent. So you and the Cap have been running together for a couple years now. I mean, we were calling stuff for you guys, whether it was in district, championship district wrestling. You've been through SHW, you've been through all over the place. And you guys were doing stuff with AEW prior.
Yes.
And so bringing in Trish Adora, kind of talk a little bit about bringing in that third person now, being a three-person group.
It's like certain things just work, certain things are just meant to be, it's so ironic. You guys, we have like the three of us. Well, me, GB and Double B, right? And of course you too, Diana. Like they started when I was at my first match, right? So it's crazy. We always talk about that. But then ironically, they also was there for the beginning of me and Cap, right? So it's not even like they were just there for my first story. I was on the pre-show last year with me and Cap's like first little coming out joint. You know what I'm saying? And was it like Still Here 3 or something like that? Something wild. But like we was out there doing our thing. So to have us be finding our way and be trying to figure our thing out all the while we're acclimating to each other. Let's just call it what it is. Probably one of the best female wrestlers on God's freaking planet Earth
Absolutely.
is also doing her thing, not just in America, but like she's everywhere, right? So then, we just kind of bumped into each other a bunch of times. Obviously, everybody knows she's she's an Army veteran. She did like 10 years she did 10 years in the Army. So she's a certified badass. She's literally been trained. Me and Captain, everybody know who we were trained by, but like she's been trained by them too. And I think she just was the standout of the New Japan Dojo, the showcase that just happened. So I mean, she's really on another level, Pan-African champion, Pan-American champion for like almost 2-3 years. She's out of control with it. So they put us together, and we needed a third person because we were having some issues on Ring of Honor with the Kingdom. And we can't do anything about Maria Kanellis because we're two dudes. We needed somebody. So we need somebody that we knew would like kind of watch our back and look out for us. And we always, we saw Trish. Trish was there. She's always been locked in with us. She's always been cool, just from behind the scenes. And so when it came time for us to need and to put our chips behind somebody, we asked her, and she was like, "I've been waiting on y'all to ask me. What took so long?"
Wow.
And the response from everybody else is really what tied it in. Like we had been hanging out with each other for months before we were even on TV. We were hanging out. We were doing this thing all together, just introducing ourselves to each other. And then when we finally brought it to the TV side and seeing how everybody reacted, and then it was like, okay, we were born to do this. And we had our match, and it was ridiculous. And it's like it's not even a question anymore. So that's what we were looking for. That's exactly what we needed. Yes,
I love it. Let me ask you this: one of the when we first saw you, and you alluded to the fact that we were there for match 1, we knew then that you were going to be a star. Your trajectory into a major national promotion has happened faster than many people who are wrestling and who have spent time in the indies and the like. My first question surrounding that is, what are some of the differences that you're noticing now being in a space regularly like Ring of Honor and AEW versus traveling on the indies regularly?
The biggest thing is the people who are putting stock in me. That's how I'll say it. The biggest difference now is that people are willing to be like, I guess they see my work ethic and they see how serious this is to me, and I guess when you see somebody that I'm assuming if they're already on that level, they feel the same way about professional wrestling that I do, So then they see somebody like me, and then they see how important this is to me, see how hard I work. And I start noticing that they start taking, like, that's what I mean, they take stock of me. Like, so now they're watching my matches. Now they're pulling me aside. It's people that you wouldn't even think of, Adam Cole, FTR, big fans of the infantry. You get what I'm saying? Our finishing move boot camp was named by MJF. Like people that stop up in the hallways and like, hey guys, like we see what you're doing. We love this. Roderick Strong, Chris Hero. I see him every week. Massive fan of the infantry, And last week I was talking to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Not even talking to him, but like I had my match. We're going over. I'm talking about my match with my agent, and I get a tap on my shoulder, and he's like, "Hey, watch your match. Let me talk to you guys." Like it's that kind of thing, Being in the indies and traveling allowed me to put confidence in myself because I had to show myself that I could swim. It's like going out to the pool without your mom and dad and everything, like hanging out with the friends at the creek or at the pond. You got to be able to swim for yourself so you can swim with your friends. Once I realized I could swim, now it's like, okay, kid, you got potential. And people want to show me how to bring that to the next level, or just how to be better, and they see something in me that makes them want to, take an interest in me. That is the biggest thing,
That's huge. That's so big. The other thing that I want to ask surrounding that is, so this is one of the challenges. It's like when you go to high school with somebody, everybody graduates, but not everybody goes to college. And then, from the folks who go to college, not everybody ends up being the most likely to succeed. So for you, what is it like, still being, I'm sure, connected to people who have not had the same trajectory as you, who maybe either came out as the same time as you or have been in the trenches longer? What's that like? Like, what are you feeling? What are you hearing? And how do you handle that?
That's a freaking phenomenal question. Because it happens more. It's one of those unspoken things that happens that you
Yes.
see more often. Like no one's gonna say that directly to you. It's so
Right.
passe to be happy for people, right?
Yeah.
I would say I've been able to avoid the negative things that would come with that because of the type of person I am. You know, I'm very I would say, for lack of better words, I'm a very positive person, you
Mhm.
know? So like I'm always trying to help. Like, who am I to teach anybody? I've only been doing it 3 years, right?
Mm.
But if I have learned something, I'm either always willing to teach or learn. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? There's never a situation where I feel like I'm just steady. Like I need to learn something, or let me show you what I learned on this side.
Mhm.
On the other side, I think being an adult in this industry has tremendously helped me out. Like by leaps and bounds because I don't get caught in the nonsensical oddities that happen, you know, outside of the wrestling ring. You know, I only
Yes.
care about wrestling. When I'm
Mhm.
not wrestling, I mean, I'm sure you guys heard Gary and people say it, like I'm always at the action building training all the
Mhm.
time by
Mhm.
myself. You know, I'm just my focus is pro wrestling. And
Yeah.
anybody else that's focus is that, then we're on the same wave. You get what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Anybody who's not, then they're probably the ones that's like, well, how did he get there so far? I didn't do nothing different than
Mm.
anybody else. I just
Mhm.
worked my ass off a little harder. You know, I
Yeah.
just did not take no for an answer and just
Yeah.
decided to just put my head down and just keep marching forward.
Yeah.
I get some. You can see the looks
Sure.
sometimes, or you know, or you can hear. I've heard one or two whispers in my day, I guess you could say. But because if you don't address them and you just leave them where they're at, then they never become bigger than what they are. You
That's
know,
right.
and that has been a huge thing for me. You know, I could hear it. A whisper can very easily become a yell or a loud voice if you pay it attention. You
Right.
get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
The whisper to wrestle is a lot louder to me than anything else that I'm hearing on the negative side. So
Yeah.
usually it's only positive, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, it is high school to a degree.
It,
You know,
it is.
it is.
It
Yeah,
But
is.
yeah.
we knew that though, right? We knew that, you know. So knowing it's high school helps you tack accordingly, if you will.
Absolutely.
Well, because
Absolutely.
everybody's working for the same goal, and some people just achieve it faster.
So no, everybody's not. I found out. You would
Mm.
Oh
think
yeah,
everyone says they're wrestling for the same goal, but you can tell the people who are working for the end goal for real, or the people who are just doing it. You know,
Mhm.
there's
Ah.
people who are really working, like really, like this is their passion. This is not just like something they're doing or something that sounds cool. Like, you know, hey, I think I want to do this. Maybe I'll try it when I have time. But like, there's people that are really working for it. It's
working.
when you're really working for it, it's very easy to separate those people who are saying they're working and who are actually working. It's crazy.
Wow.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, I guess that's instead of being the next big thing, who's going to be the next Carlie?
Ain't
Oh.
never gonna be one of them.
Only one. There's only
Nah,
one.
man.
Who's going to
No,
follow
ma'am.
Carlie?
That's
Yeah.
probably the better thing. I'd prefer they like, because I feel like if people were smart, they'd see that I just mapped out a blueprint. It's not difficult. Didn't even take
Right.
me long. You know,
Yeah.
if you just do it felt long to me because I was working so hard. But if you just do it, it's not hard at all. That's probably
Yeah.
my biggest thing. A lot of people that like, hey, you could do this too if you just did it. You know,
Right.
Right.
You know, so yeah,
All about putting in the work, putting in the
It
effort.
helps to have that talent too, I'm sure.
doing the work, baby. I'm
Yeah.
Well,
sure.
yeah, having the
and
talent.
that personality.
Yeah, having the
person-
talent and the
I mean, the
personality doesn't hurt.
personality, you can't match that. You
Right.
can't
Well,
match
thank
that Carlie Bravo.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Well, Carlie, that's why the GB said it already. It's like when we saw you on day one, show one of the Nightmare Factory, class one.
Yeah.
Like we just knew some people you could see, and this isn't a knock to anybody else, but there's just some folks that you could see and go, okay, personality, check,
Yeah.
physicality, check, physical,
Mhm.
you
Oh
know,
my gosh.
athletic ability, check.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
Thank
guy's
you.
got
When
it.
when I met Carlie, I think it was at IWE maybe,
Mhm.
Yep.
and you just walked up to me like we were like old friends. Hey, girl.
Yeah. I
I'm
told
like,
you
who
because I
is
knew
this
you guys,
guy?
right? I tell you that
Wow.
all the time because I knew the three of you guys before I even got here, right? Like that's
Wow.
also part of the game. You got to do your research before you step into
Yeah.
something.
Yes.
I knew the big players. I knew where I wanted to go. I knew what I wanted to do. I had this whole thing planned. I didn't know how it's all going to work.
Right.
But by golly, it worked.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Carlie and GB helped me remember. I think it was December of 2020 with that first showcase of
Yes.
camp class
Mhm.
one. And
Yes.
Carlie, I remember Carlie coming up to me and GB, introducing
Mhm.
himself and saying,
Mhm.
"I can't wait to work with you guys."
That's
When you were
exactly
talking about
what
it
he
at Southern
said.
Honor, and I was like,
Yes.
"All right."
It was
And I remember
December
looking at
11th.
GB. I remember looking at
Yes.
GB, kind of like, "Oh, he knows who we are. That's cool." And
Yeah,
It was,
yeah.
uh,
That makes
It
us
was
feel good
December
too.
11th.
Yeah, there you go.
December 11th, 2020 was my first match there.
Yeah.
Yes,
Amazing.
and that was yep, and I'll never ever forget that against Dean Alexander, and you guys were there.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
So let me ask you this then, because I love conversations like this, because I think we are separating the proverbial men from the boys, meaning those who really, really want to do this and those who are just, oh, this is cute, this is a hobby, this is nice, right?
Yes.
Knowing the wide variety of audience that we have, whether that is, fans who might have something that they're interested in that may not be pro wrestling as a profession, or other wrestlers who are watching and are trying to figure out, how do we get to where Carlie is? What would you suggest to them?
3 words. Y'all should know what I'm gonna say, because y'all been with the factory for a long time.
I know what you're gonna say.
Do the work. The simplest thing ever. Just do it. We can go Nike for all I care. You know, that's all you gotta do. I'm really a student of that. Like, if you want to do something, you're the only one that's gonna be in your way. Stop telling yourself you can't. Stop making up excuses. Like, I got a million different reasons as to why I should not be where I'm at here, right? But then again, I got a million and one reasons as to why I'm working hard to be here. We all have life. I think people forget that life be lifing for everybody.
That's
I don't know a single person. I don't know not one person that life is just going swimmingly all around the boards. If you really want something, though, sit down, take a couple years off, really grind for it, and I promise you, you'll get it. You'll get it. They told me every reason in the wazoo as to why this would not work for me. My age being one of them. You get what I'm saying? And that ain't stopping. That ain't stopping no show. What? Not at all. So I just think that's it. It really is just do it. Just have confidence in yourself. Even if you don't, just do it. Confidence will grow. Confidence comes. Just do it. Get out your way.
Yeah.
I love it.
So good.
I love that.
Man, give me
So
chill
Word to the
bumps,
West.
man.
I know.
I love you guys.
I can't say much because I'll get choked up and start to mess again. So just chill.
Hey guys, I miss you guys all the time, man. I miss you guys. I would not to like blow smoke, but I was looking forward to this. I was looking forward to last week's show for a very long time.
Wow.
There you go. There you go.
I was genuinely shocked because I did not know you were there. So
God, your commentary on that video.
You'll appreciate the commentary.
GB.
No, I was serious because people play too much around here, man.
They
play too much. They should start putting people's music on, and don't do that to me.
That's true.
Do that to me. So
that's true.
I was
Oh my gosh.
glad. I was so glad, and to me, it was a wonderful homecoming. Like, if we're gonna miss you, I would rather miss you because I'm watching you on my television screen.
Yeah.
That's why I would rather miss you.
Like, keeping up with you, but miss your personal interaction. But
yes, no, I feel that, and I appreciate that. And I definitely felt that from Southern Honor. Like, I felt like the response wasn't so much it was like we're proud of you, we've missed you. It wasn't a sad miss you. It wasn't a oh my god. Like the response was like, our boy's back. That made me that I can't. I was a lot of pops on the RumbleJack. That one was for me. And the response. I'm only mad that it was a RumbleJack and I couldn't do my full entrance. I was I was in my bag.
It
guys.
is
I was
a
ready to
short
strut
one.
my stuff. Okay?
And me and GB are sitting there. Come over, wanting to like.
Brother, listen, they had to stop me. I told them, hey, the RumbleJack's gonna stop. I'm walking around this whole daggone ring. But I knew I had to get things going. But that's what felt best for me. To be in the back and when the gun cocked and the bullet shot and everything like that, and then to hear the response was like, oh yeah, and I hope that it was translated that I missed them too.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Like, it was everything. It was everything.
Well, look, we've had a lot of people mention, and I've seen online, when is this track dropping? Public, we all want that track. Dude.
I don't know, to be honest with you. Honestly, I think, to be honest with you, I'm gonna tell you the honest answer. I think that track means so much to me, especially because that's our track. Like the place that I got that was for us, right?
Yes.
I don't know if I'm gonna drop it until I get to use it on TV. Because that means that the person that we worked hard to make made it to TV. I love Infantry Carlie. Infantry Carlie's a man, but the bad news and tattoos our boy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
that's who I want to bring to TV. You know what I'm saying? So like the day that comes on TV, guys, I'll blare that thing on the radio station for all.
Okay, we got to work on this singles match, just a singles match, so you can use it.
It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I promise.
That led me to another thought that I had, because I know for some, again, using kind of the high school college analogy, for some, the goal is graduating high school and getting to college. For others, the goal is graduating college, getting into that career, and fully being at the top of the space. So now that you are All Elite, Ring of Honor, you're in those spaces, I know that it's not enough just knowing you. It's not enough to just say you're there. So we've already seen where you've been in 3 years. Tell me 3 years from now, 2026, what are we looking at for Carlie Bravo?
If Captain and I are not one of, probably if Captain and I and Trish are not one of the top factions or top tag teams in the entire planet, and I'm not talking like just on your TV, I mean like for real, when you mentioned those top 3 or 4 tag teams, if we not one of them, if we are not one of them, Bad News and Tattoos will be the most popular professional wrestler on the planet.
Boom.
Without a question. Without a question. I'm taking, the gloves are coming off and I'm going full me. You know, and knowing I've got Trish, like Trish has got my back on that. Cap's got my back on that. Like, y'all see it when I come out, like, Captain want me to be Bad News and Tattoos so bad.
Yes.
Yeah, so bad, you know. Yes. Trish is like, please take the gloves off and do your thing. You know, so like that's what I want. You know, if I could pull that off, no, not even if. That's what's getting pulled off. That's the coup. You know what I'm saying? Like, staying ready. So when they're like, hey, Bravo, we need somebody for this, say less. You know, I've been waiting for that. You know, so that's it. This is wow, we are literally still very much getting started in the beginning. When I got signed, I said that everything before me getting signed, I said was like a prelude or just the opening credits. I remember I said that.
Yes.
We are still very much, we ain't even got to the title screen yet. Like, it's really, we're gonna go. Yes.
Yeah. You said something else that's super powerful, and I know it's my story. I know it's your story as well. I think it's Diana and, quite frankly, Brandon's story too. This idea of being ready so that when your number is called, you can show up. Because what ends up happening is it's not always that spaces are created for us. It's that somebody doesn't do what they're supposed to do, or they move out and a space is suddenly vacant and there's not much time to become. You have to already be. So I guess my question to you now is, I'm sure in your mind, you know, who we saw on December 11th, 2020 is not who could get signed to Ring of Honor. So what do you feel like you have to do from now to present the guy that's going to be the most popular wrestler in the world in 3 years?
Just keep going. Just keep going. You know, it's not difficult for me to come up with this stuff or to figure this stuff out, because this is genuinely who I am. You know, this isn't like I'm manufacturing this stuff up. Like, I'm one thing I do appreciate about myself is I have like unlimited amounts of creativity as far as I feel like. So coming up with an idea or something to say or a move or something funny is not hard for me at all. And just to keep learning, you know, like, I can't tell you how many people that part, the charisma and creativity, I've born with that. I got that from my mama. You know, talent, but working, like, I have to learn how to wrestle still. You know what I'm saying? One thing I used to love about you guys, I never fails, right? I used to love about you guys is that y'all always pointed out when I did a new move at show. You know, I'm very simple, right? My character doesn't have to do, not even my character, I don't fight to do 1,000 flips. It's not my style. I don't need to do that. I'd rather just punch in your mouth. But if I could figure something out to do, it's like, whoa, we ain't seen that before. It's about learning and then and then applying what you learned in the ring for real life application. You know, that's really all it is. I just keep, like you said, man, staying ready. You know, like, staying ready. That's literally, it's so funny. I would have never thought that would be the narrative of my wrestling career. You know, that ironically started off as my Southern Honor shtick, right? Like the replacement. You guys had me when I needed me. But to be honest of how much that has translated, you know, working on the indies. And then when they didn't have anybody at AEW wasn't going to invite me back for a while. Then they were like, hey, like, you've been killing it. We need you. Impact. Hey,
wow,
you've been killing it. We need somebody to fill that Atlanta knows. Let's put you in. Every time that they thought they needed somebody else, they put me in that spot, and I exceeded the expectation. You get what I'm saying? And so even in Ring of Honor, like even now, you know, like they'll need, hey, we had an idea for a tag match, but those guys didn't make it. They couldn't fly in. We're going to put the infantry in there. Next thing you know, we're getting an infantry champ. Keep them on TV. You know, it's just all about, you can't underestimate the value of staying ready. You know, of just keeping yourself ready for when the game is on, because you never know. You know, and that'll change everything. I'll say this, nobody first, y'all know me because I'm hometown, but like I'm never nobody's first pick. And honestly, I love that. You know? I love that, because I already know when it is time for you to come pick me, I'm finna tear this place up, and y'all gonna have. Now I'm on the team. So by all means, underestimate me for sure. I love that. You know, it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah, you won't have a choice but to pick me next time. Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm first round pick now, but and it makes them regret it. It's the best thing ever.
Yourself.
Yes, guys.
Right.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I love it.
Yes.
Facts, guys.
Words to live by.
Facts.
Man, it's so good. So good to see you back. And again, we talked about you returning at the RumbleJack, and just what a surprise it was, man. And
what a show.
As you know, after the week after a big show, we do the big recap. And since you're not just our guest interview here, you're a guest co-host this week on the podcast. So stick with us if you don't mind, and we'll let's do it. Recap of the show.
Yes, please.
Now, before we get into the big 35-person RumbleJack, there were 3 big championship matches that took place, and these were like 3 main event worthy matches on any show. And these were the 3 opening matches for the big RumbleJack. It was crazy how big this show was. Absolutely nuts. So let's start out with what was the first one. The Jake the Snake Championship was the first one, right? The Legacy Championship. Chip Day with his very first title defense. He made it an open challenge. We already knew later in the night we were going to have a bunch of surprises, a bunch of unexpected unknowns. And on top of that, they said, hey, we're going to have this open challenge. So there's another big surprise we weren't ready for. And it turned out to be Chip's former tag team partner, the one and only Kyle Matthews. What a match it was. And was this maybe the third or fourth? I don't know.
It's the third or fourth,
because he had because Kyle had won twice already, I believe. And Chip had yet to beat Kyle in an SHW ring, and so that made it even more spicy, even more intriguing. So
did he win though? Did he win? Because I've been seeing Chip a lot. I ain't seen Kyle a lot.
Well, I'm just saying, against Chip in the previous, when they fought previously. So for Chip, this was going to be a big deal.
You feel what I'm saying? I'm not lying, but I'm saying Chip been running it, you know?
Kyle's been gone.
Hand raise doesn't actually mean you won.
You're right.
Exactly.
Kyle's been gone. Chip has gone on to win the new title, the JTS Legacy Championship. So yeah, good point.
It's that attitude. It's that attitude. It's that.
What do we refer to that attitude as?
Boy attitude.
There it is.
I'm telling you. If he had not turned, he wouldn't be champ right now.
Wow.
And that's my opinion. No, that does not happen for everybody. For God's sakes, there's a lot of bad guys that don't need to be doing nothing right now, but sitting down and shutting up. But Chip, he hadn't have turned. I don't know who would have been champion.
If you haven't noticed, Carlie, if you haven't noticed, Diana has a kind of an affinity for the bad boys.
I like Chip as a bad guy.
Hey, I can see that. Bad boy Chip, bad boy Carlie. I'm just gonna leave that where it's at. But yes.
Bad boy B-Dub, bad boy GB. Perfect. We get it.
Talk that talk, fellas. Talk that talk.
I mean, we're going to make a whole club. I'm going to get shirts made. It's going to be like the bad boys. I don't know.
Oh,
I like it.
I hear what you're saying. I do hear what you're saying about Chip, but I'm going to have to disagree. I'm going to say Chip Day alone, whether in a good mood or a bad mood, is one of the most dangerous dudes in Georgia, bar none. Without a question, no matter how he feels. If he did, and honestly, that's scary, right? Because if he's having an off day, he'll still smack your head off. You know what I'm saying? And if he's really on, you're really in trouble, right? So I don't think it would have made a difference no matter what mood he was in. I can say for me personally, because I really wanted that Jake the Snake Legacy Championship, and I was hoping to avoid Chip. to be honest with you. I didn't want to deal with that on Friday.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, it was him and Kenway in the finals, right? For the Legacy
Correct.
Championship, right?
Yep.
And
Correct.
if I'm not mistaken, that was their second time fighting. Am I correct?
That's right.
Who won the first match?
Draw.
Well,
Time
It
limit
was a
draw.
draw.
It was a draw. It was a draw.
Mhm.
Now that says a lot. It says a lot about Kenway, who was one of the with the young boys that came up and was able to laugh with Chip. You know what I'm saying? But that also says a lot about Chip. So that you no matter how much you think you learn, you just can't beat me. You can go and learn however much you think you can learn, but when you come back, I'm still Chip Day. That's scary. I don't know if the result would have changed at all. I think Chip would still be in his bag the way he is. Chip has had that chip on his shoulder way before technical excellence.
Yes.
Then it's been a chip on Chip's shoulder. You feel me? And that thing.
Yes.
So for him to even end it, I don't know if you guys saw it, but I got in the building when the match started. But did you see the look on his face when Kyle walked out?
Oh yeah.
So you automatically knew it was gonna be bad news Chip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that this is
When
a
the
dangerous
music started, I looked directly at Chip, and it was just like, oh my God, I'm getting out.
Mhm.
I already knew it was gonna be crazy.
Mhm.
Already
Yeah.
did.
This is the dangerous era of Chip Day that we're in, and then giving him something to fight for, giving him a reason to not lose, giving him a reason to care all the time, because he's not gonna want to lose that belt. Jake the Snake gave him that belt personally in his hands, So now putting something in his hands and saying, hey, you got to hold this down and not lose. Oh my God, I feel bad for the rest of Southern Honor. That's a scary dude. That's a scary dude.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I think it took something to hit that switch though and really get his focus on that and what he wanted to do. I really do.
Yeah, he wanted a championship the whole time, and I think he worked very hard to get this. He fought his way to it, no doubt about it. Nobody handed this to him. Like, he didn't just, he went through the tournament, fought hard, and I think it said a lot about his confidence to even throw out an open challenge on RumbleJack when anybody could show up.
Yeah.
And anybody, and there's so many people there.
Listen, I mean, the people who showed up that night, any of them could have answered the challenge. And so we all benefited from this match. And you're right, Chip was absolutely in his bag. And I think you're onto something, Carlie. This could be the most dangerous version of Chip Day that we've ever seen. Chip with a singles title, not having to worry about anybody else, whether or not they'll step up. Chip has always felt like he could depend on himself.
Yes.
It's one of the reasons he was mad about the tag titles when they lost, because he felt like he could still go, So nobody's holding him back. It's a fun time right now to be Chip Day.
Yeah.
Scary time for everybody else.
Scary for everybody else. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Well, like I said, it was just such a huge night, and that just started us off. I mean, that was just the appetizer for what was to come. And Chip Day finally defeating Kyle Matthews, a guy he was yet to defeat to that point, his former tag team partner. He was successful in his first JTS Legacy Championship defense, and I can't wait to see where he goes from here. And what an amazing match. We knew it was going to be great. Once we realized it was Kyle Matthews, we were like, okay, technical masterpiece coming up. And it sure was, because we talk about both of them being former technical wrestlers of the year many times over. So it was just, man, is everything we knew it was going to be, and then some. And then following that was the big tag team championship matchup, which we were all looking forward to all month long, as the hierarchy put up the tag titles against former tag champs. All-star special, two guys that we always felt like did not get a fair shake. This was back when Dishonor was running things. Hello, Carlie. But we won't get into
another
that.
life.
Hey.
It's another life.
Get into that. But anyway, I actually was saying it and then realizing, oh yeah, Carlie was part of that. As I was saying it, like, oh yeah. Anyways, we won't get into that.
A means to an end, fellas. A means to an end.
There it is.
So we had All-Star Special finally getting their big shot here at a title opportunity. And man, up until a couple of chuckleheads got in there and ruined it for everybody, I thought it was a great tag team matchup.
Just to call them chuckleheads. So
we have a guest, and I don't want to be super rude in front of our.
That's bad news and tattoos. Have you
Who were the chuckleheads we talking about? Who were the chuckleheads we're referring to? Oh, we got to talk about them later. Yeah, let's go over this. Let's talk about this match. Let's talk about this match, man. Anyways, All-Star Special. boy, they should have been had these championship rematch, man. They've been. I didn't really like how we had to do it. That wasn't really us. That was all Brooklyn and them getting rid of them. They are the most popular tag team in Atlanta and Georgia by far.
Yeah.
But they're not the most dominant. And when you talk dominance, you talk the hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? That's a group that you don't want to get no deeper than they already are. And not to mention that group is already super deep. They're just operating on 3 people right now. But if other people were to start popping out, we're really in some trouble. I think I had a dishonor problem. Watch the hierarchy. Them boys got issues.
We talked about that. We have talked about that for real.
Yeah.
They are deep.
Yeah.
Yes. But shout out to All Star Special and their Waffle House references. I hate them.
And that's why we love them.
That's why I love them. That's why I hold my hash browns there.
Oh, I don't have it on me. I got it's over. It's across the room, but I got the custom made all-star shirt with my name on it and everything.
I gave my
they were selling some great match. They were selling some merch. They were selling some kind of beach towels, or it was something with some super smoking hot model on the front of it. I almost thought I got myself in trouble. It's crazy. But yeah, they were really doing their thing.
I'm still selling that thing. Anybody interested, holla.
All I'm gonna say is yellow's my favorite color now. Holla.
There it is. I am not mad at that. But yeah, you're right. What a tag match. It was highly anticipated. And it was so unpredictable. We did not know how it was gonna go. And we still don't know how it would have ended, thanks to the presence of 3 guys who decided to insert themselves into the tag team championship picture. That, of course, being a trio of Exotic Youth. So it kind of ended in a yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Exotic Youth, they want to insert themselves into the tag title picture, and I guess they figured that RumbleJack was the right night to do it. And so they did that. I will say this, I understand why they interjected themselves. I mean, they have been the 2-time tag team of the year. They want to be tag team champions in Southern Honor. It makes sense. The only thing I don't understand is I don't want an all-star special problem. And I absolutely don't want a hierarchy problem. To have a problem with both of them, probably not the smartest strategy.
Well, they never were claiming to be the smartest.
So
That's true.
I feel that, right? But we got to look at who we talking about here, right? For all of their problems, Exotic Youth got a lot of moxie. You know, if there's one group in the South that do not care about ruffling feathers or having problems with people, it's Exotic Youth. Listen, the RumbleJack night was made for a group like Exotic Youth, right? All eyes in the South was on Southern Honor, right? Yeah. And you said it earlier, GB. They are the 2-time tag team of the year, right? So what is that? And ironically, think about this question. How do you make it to 2-time tag team of the year without ever being a Southern Honor champion? That means that you're really out there doing some kind of damage. You're really out there doing your thing, right? And I think that they're tired of that. Southern Honor is the mecca in the South. Southern Honor is the place that everybody wants to be at. Every single wrestler in the South was in the building there. What better way to let everybody know that y'all mean business than to take that night over? They've done it everywhere else, everywhere they go. And let's be honest. The hierarchy, Southern Honor rather, the hierarchy at Southern Honor is just now having an Exotic Youth problem. The hierarchy been having an Exotic Youth problem. All-Star Special been having an Exotic Youth problem. Let's go a little bigger. Every team in the South has had an Exotic Youth problem for the last 2 years. And now it's like they just don't care anymore. Hey, we're going to let everybody know this is our place. And that they did it. They did it in the RumbleJack. They did it in the tag match there. And I doubt that this is the end this is the last that we see of them. I have a feeling that they'll be making their presence known all over the place in the next couple months. I'm telling you, they're hard-headed. They don't learn.
Yeah, it's like they don't learn or they're too stupid to realize. I don't understand.
Might be both.
Might be.
Look,
might be both.
I'm gonna try to get this out without because it's hard for me to give them any kind of props, any kind of compliments.
Look, I gave them all the props I'm giving them. Done.
Sorry.
I just want to know which name will they get this week, because they've had some very interesting names come from Diana before. So I'm just waiting for what's going to roll off the tongue this time. It's going to be great. I'm just waiting.
Well, I'm going to let B have this one.
here's what
I'm
I'll
here for it.
say. And GB, you said this the other night on commentary a couple times. It's like, if you want to put your stamp on the RumbleJack, that's exactly what they did. Whether I like how they did it or not. And to your point, Carlie, with all eyes on Southern Honor that night, they made a big impact in the tag team title match,
and they almost pulled it off.
Yeah, and then they made a big impact later in the show. We'll get to that later in the big RumbleJack match. And so you're right, they made a big impact. And here's what I want to know though, and we even said this on commentary: does Zach Mosley have a death wish? Because he actually took Joe Black's trademark beads, put them on, and wore them out of the arena. Are you insane?
Y'all asking that now? Y'all asking that now? Aren't these the same three schmucks that attacked Cyrus a couple months ago?
Yeah,
They are.
Yeah.
Death wishes might be their thing. They eat death wishes for breakfast.
I guess so.
They're too stupid to be scared. They don't care.
Yeah.
Their advantage.
So
Or their
I have a
demise.
scary thought. I have a scary thought.
Yeah.
Go ahead and share it.
I'm gonna hold it. I just think it may not be long.
I don't want to hear that. Next.
See, I tried to tell you.
Next. Triple
Yeah,
threat.
I mean,
Next.
if you thought it was an issue for Samantha Irvin to announce Logan Paul as the winner,
imagine.
can you imagine? Still here 5.
Oh my God.
I would throw up in my lap.
And the winners.
Don't.
But I hate to say
Because
this,
they're going
Diana,
to take this whole clip and just take it and
No.
go viral with it.
I know
hate to
they're
say
going
this,
to.
I hate to say this, Diana, but they have, if their past is any recollection, you might not like their ways, but the boys know what they're doing, and I can't.
They
stand
do, and the thing is
boys,
they use every little bit of all three of them to get stuff done that shouldn't be allowed.
They have
do.
all of it. They do.
They
They
do.
have all
They
of it. They
know
have
how to-
power. They have smart. They got muscle. They got. You know what I'm saying? They have people. They have a fall guy. They have all of that nonsense. They're a problem. They're a problem.
Who's your fall guy? Who's your fall guy?
That little dweeb Pep. That little
The one that took the punch from Butterbean.
Listen, yo, Mosley.
Oh.
Listen, Mosley is a house. All right, Mosley is a house. All right,
Yeah.
and and I hate to say this, but Bryce Cannon may be one of the most manipulative and brilliant minds in the business. You know,
Hate to
he's
say
the
it, he
brains
is.
behind their stupid operation. You know what I'm saying? But Pepper Bottom is like an annoying little flea and a mosquito. And if we all know, how many times have you been bit by a mosquito? Tons.
Yeah.
You slap it, it still bites you. That's them. You know, and while one's biting you, the other two are gonna come knock your head off. They know what they're doing. Yeah. Screw them.
And again, like I said, it hurts me, it pains me to give them any kind of props, any kind of compliments, but you're right, GB, you're right. I just I don't like how they go about what they do. I've even said this on commentary numerous times, GB. You've heard me say it. I give props to Bryce Cannon. He can wrestle. He can go in the ring. He's got the talent. He just goes about these dirty tactics to end up getting the wins or getting what he wants. That's where it drives me crazy. But
and that was why I was referencing the Four Horsemen, not because I thought they were the greatest thing in indie wrestling, but because of how they make you feel. They just want to.
Oh yeah, Carlie. I don't know if you saw that episode, but it was a few weeks back where she compared them to the Four Horsemen. Then they took that clip and just ran with it.
They remind me of a couple. They remind me of a couple jerk freebirds. You know, a couple pompous. You know, and they're just a pompous, arrogant jerks, but they get the job done. You know, and it'll catch up to them. But how many jobs are going to get done before it catches up to them?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a fact. Everybody knows Exotic Youth, and for whatever reason, bad publicity is still publicity, right?
That's true.
Yes.
Boy, oh boy.
Well, and we're spending 20 minutes talking about the jerks, so let's.
Yeah, let's move on to that's what I was gonna say. Let's get to the next match here. What we do know is that match ended in a was it officially a DQ or just a no contest?
Yeah, it was a DQ.
Disqualification.
I guess it was All-Star Special technically got DQ'd.
Yeah.
Because Exotic Pukes came in there and they jumped hierarchy. And so that's the thing though. And you know that just made Hanson and Huckabee's blood boil because they're getting DQ'd because of these schmucks coming in there and getting them disqualified. So I don't know what that means for next month for the tag team title picture. Because All-Star Special already got screwed out of the tag titles last year. So are they going to get another fair shot? We don't know, but time will tell. So just join us September 8th.
It'd be a triple threat.
50. Well, who knows?
It'd be fun.
And I'm sure that's why Exotic Youth was getting in there to prove a point, to prove that they belong. We've already talked about that. So will Jake the Snake and the front office, will they make that decision? And will they make it a triple threat? Who knows? We'll find out soon enough. But the big championship match prior to the 35-person Rumble was for the Southern Honor Championship. Judas putting up the title in a triple threat match against Gunnar Miller and Corey Hollis. And man, oh man, what a match it was. We knew with it being triple threat rules, no disqualification came into play. We knew the end game was probably going to get involved, and they did. So our thoughts, though, your thoughts on this matchup. I thought it was a good one.
Carlie?
I'm going to reserve comment about the Southern Honor Championship match that I should have been in, but okay, we'll let you guys go ahead.
All right, fair enough.
Understand that too.
You guys all know that I can't. I have so many mixed feelings about this, and it all goes back to Corey. I just, there is something that's going to unfold. I feel it in my spirit. I mean, it's like it's talking to me. Something's going to unfold. There's going to be something come of this with Endgame and Corey. They got to be. Am I wrong to think that Corey could possibly have anything to do with the Endgame? Am I crazy?
I'm not saying you're crazy.
That makes sense to everybody but me.
I just don't know. Because
I don't know either, but I feel it.
I don't know and the only reason I say that is because the video package that played before the main event, you saw a video from 2 years ago back behind the scenes backstage where Corey walks off the screen and Judas and Todd make eye contact and make a little nod. To me, that tells me that they were already in cahoots outside of what Corey was involved with.
Oh, I totally agree.
So that's why I think. And I'm not saying you're wrong because I don't know, but I just feel like they already had their situation unbeknownst to Corey back then. And then I don't know. So it is hard to see Corey as a quote unquote good guy ever since he came back, because back in the day when he was here before, he was trying to kill the company, injected with lethal poison from the inside out. And so it's hard to see him as he came back and he helped save the company from dishonor, and it's just all very surreal. So I don't know.
I feel like there's a lot of little nuggets everywhere, but I don't feel confident that that's true. I just don't. I just feel like there's a lot of underlying there. I don't know what it's going to take for him what he's going to have to do to prove to me that he is trustworthy. I just don't.
Carlie's making
like
faces.
Gunner's an underdog.
I saw Carlie making some faces. So what are you thinking?
Look, because if you watch the product for any amount of time, you know what should be a commandment in the book of Southern Honor: don't trust Corey Hollis. That should be like 1, 2, or 3 up there. Okay, that should be top. I'm speaking from experience. I believe it was like, maybe was it January or February? Corey Hollis swore up and down him and Judas had nothing to do with each other. I almost beat Corey Hollis, and next thing you know, I'm in the air taking a razor's edge from who?
Thank you.
Exactly.
So don't tell me they're not in cahoots. Also, though, my only thing that I say with this, Diana, is that one thing we do know about Corey Hollis is Corey Hollis likes to be a mastermind. He likes to be in control of things, right? And that's a real interesting space when it comes to Judas, because we have storied history between both Corey Hollis and Judas and Todd Sexton and Judas. So really, to me, the question is, the person to watch is Judas. You know?
Yes.
Where does he go? I don't know if Todd Sexton is enough to get Corey to get in on this Judas and game train, right? But I do believe that Judas may be enough to get to Corey Hollis. But on the other end, Corey Hollis he's not a soldier. He's more of a general type. You know, he's not a follower and orders type of guy. So he might not like seeing his old partner getting ran around by, Todd Sexton and the rest of the group of whatevers.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? It's
something Judas. He's the one that told Judas, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah. I heard him say that. I heard him say that when I was in the air getting taken out too a couple
Thank
months
you.
ago. He was like, "No, don't do this, no," and he
Oh
took the
my
win.
God.
So, oh my God. So
Yeah.
I don't believe any of it, to be honest with you. Honestly,
Thank
I can't
you.
believe I'm going to say this. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Ugh. But I wish Gunner would have just did away with both of them.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Carlie, that was a pretty spot on impression that you just did. But anyways,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really good at impressions. I'm really good at that. Yes.
Yeah, it speaks volumes to the history of Corey Hollis and the fact that we can't get that taste of what he has done out of our mouths. We certainly can't. And so it's a really crazy space right now. But you're right. I don't see Corey Hollis as somebody taking orders from anybody. He's either going to run it or he's going to destroy it. And so I think, what we're seeing right now is him saying, "Oh, Judas, you won't let me run you, then I have to destroy you." I still don't think that makes Corey Hollis trustworthy. I think it's simply saying that Corey Hollis does not want to be controlled. So he will fight whomever, but he's still kind of his own guy. He really hasn't assembled a group of people that will follow with him. Like
That
him
we
and
know
Gunner.
of.
Well, that we know of, because that too could be happening somewhere behind the scenes that we don't know about.
Don't lose track of Gunner neither. Gunner's the one that lost that belt, and Gunner is one thing we know, Gunner is a one-man wrecking crew. So maybe Corey Hollis doesn't necessarily need a gang of people when you have a Gunner behind you. And what they say, the enemy of the enemy is my friend. You get what I'm saying? And so right now, as far as Gunner's concerned, Judas is top priority right now. Him and that Southern Honor Championship. He has to deal with the Corey Hollis issue as well, but might as well team up right now, because Judas is not just Judas anymore. Judas has people behind him helping. They're handing out super kicks left and right. So you never know what's going to go on with that. And it's an interesting thing to watch, man. Definitely.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
And I think Gunner almost had him. And of course, the key word there, almost, but he got him up for the jack. He's a spear. He hit the spear, got him up for that jackhammer.
Got him up for the jackhammer. Good God.
Yeah. And actually kind of held him there for a second, too.
Oh, my God.
So, I mean, he can do it. And I think he would have done it had it not been a triple threat, or you hadn't had the other members of Endgame involved. But,
Jake Halen.
Yeah. So, Judas retaining the title.
I
And
did hear that. Okay.
What's that?
No, I heard that. There's a Diana moment every show. I promise you.
Oh, did I miss something? Did Diana say something I missed?
Yeah. You'll hear it on the playback.
You know it's coming.
Okay.
You know it's coming.
Yeah, she called him Richard Halen. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That's happened before.
Yeah.
Well, he
Just
can't
came
seem to
so
get any of our
smooth.
names right. Carlie, I don't know. I don't know what he would call Carlie, but he gets our
He's
name.
gonna call me Bad News and Tattoos if you know what's
That's
good for him.
right.
I know
He
that's
Good.
right.
He should.
Bad on it.
That's right.
Okay. Let's get to this 35-person RumbleJack. Jake the Snake. He found out this was going to be number 5 or 5th anniversary. He said, "You know what? Let's make this the biggest and baddest one yet. Let's do 35. We've done 28. We've done 30. We've done 31. This is going to be 35, the biggest one ever. And I dare say it was the biggest one ever. It was the craziest one ever.
Huge.
I don't know the best way to go about this, guys. Should I just run through the entire list of entrants, or
I mean, there's no way that you're going to be able to recap every single
We'll be
moment
doing
that
this for
happened.
2 hours.
Well, here's the thing. I know we're not going to recap every single entrant, but should I name every single entrant is what I'm saying.
Sure.
I was going to say, I think we probably should talk about some of the biggest moments that happened in here, because there were a lot of massive moments. We can probably talk about some surprises as well, which those might qualify as moments as well.
And that poor soul, what's his name that was on the photos of the night?
Alexander Lev.
There's
Lev, sorry.
Yeah.
See?
Alexander
You
Lev.
still don't have his name.
He wouldn't
right.
leave. That's the problem.
Lev wouldn't leave.
Yeah, he wouldn't leave.
He showed up at the very end and he was still out there.
He was determined. He said he was faithful and he meant it.
There is a
Well,
photo.
he took a lick from about everybody who took interest.
And there was a photo of GB and I freaking out as Cyrus, after Cyrus got eliminated, and Cyrus going to take some of his anger out on Lev, and he almost put him through our table. And
Look,
we're freaking
I need
out.
to crop that picture. I need to crop that picture to it's just you guys, and I need somebody to caption that for me, because that is amazing.
Oh,
That is
amazing.
amazing.
Try to give me a heart attack, you know?
Yeah.
Come on, we're in the middle of the RumbleJack here. We still got a half a match to call.
Right.
If you destroy the table, there we go. We're done. Anyways, let's talk about. All right. Well, we'll just kind of mix and match here. through
We
this.
started off.
But you talk about big moments. We started out with a big moment. Lev comes out trying to get in there, and no, the official entrant number one was the IWTV World Champion, the true IWTV World Champion, the Atrocity Cruel, coming to the ring, and then the official number two entrant blew our freaking minds because it was Cyrus the Destroyer. We literally picked up right where we left off at the last show. And these guys coming in there just throwing haymakers, two of the biggest dudes in the locker room. And
second rope Ronas. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Right. I saw that.
Yeah.
And then
drop
Cyrus
kicks.
Cyrus hit a drop kick. What? These guys aren't supposed to be able to do these things.
They're going to tear up the ring, and we still have 33 more people to go.
I think I even said that. I said, I hope this thing's been reinforced because we still got 33 more to go. And
have a RumbleJack in the parking lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Which it's not unheard of for
It'd be fun.
a match to end up in the parking lot of SHW.
Yeah.
Just ask Joe Black. And,
I'm
Will
parked in
Huckabee.
the back, so it's fun. My car's safe.
Yeah.
You'd think I would learn my lesson. I still park in that same spot after my car got destroyed.
Jeez, you're gonna learn one day.
Yeah. I'm a little slow. It happens. So Cruel and Cyrus, man, they're insane. And then as more people are making their way into the ring, they made their way outside of the ring, and so they're fighting all around ringside.
Right.
Let's talk about some of these big surprises. Now, Carlie, we've already mentioned. We'll get to that. You were number 13, so we'll make our way down the list here.
Yeah.
Somebody who was a huge part of year one and was the second ever Southern Honor champion, but the first time ever in a RumbleJack. Yeah, throw up that 5 for the 5th annual and 5 in the
And he came out number 5. Yeah,
he sure did.
He did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Wow.
Oh, good catch. I didn't even pick
That
up on
is
that.
a great
That was
catch.
awesome. He came out number 5.
Alan
he did.
Angels, by the way, is who we're talking about. And
Yes.
what a reception from this great crowd at the Action Building, man. What did you guys think about seeing Alan Angels back in the Action Building?
That was wild. I mean, the people went nuts for him, and he loved every single bit of it. It was great. It was great. He had a great showing. First RumbleJack. He did his thing, man. He did his thing.
I thought it was crazy because, and I told GBS, I mentioned the interesting note there that it was such a big part of that first year, but he was never in a RumbleJack. This was his first time in a Rumble. How crazy.
That is crazy. It's crazy. It's interesting. If I were to attach a song to this entire RumbleJack, it would come from a group called Commissioned, and they partnered with Run DMC, and the song was called "You Can Always Come Home," because that's literally what happened here at this RumbleJack. It was a homecoming for so many stars, and Alan Angels, given all he's done in AEW and now in Impact, to come home to SHW and to have an incredible showing. What a moment, and how indicative that was of just the kinds of surprises we were going to see during the RumbleJack.
Alan Angels is a top-notch star anywhere he goes. He's the man. He's been in company to company to company. He's been a top star at every company. You know what I'm saying? And obviously one of the founding fathers of the whole first year of SHW. I thought I had my work cut out for me. I was like, I'm going home. This is shit. God dang it! Like, like what's happening here?
Right. Everybody's coming home.
And then he went out there and cleaned house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was amazing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some other day one returns real quick. Joey Lynch made his return.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
he looked great.
Lee Johnson, another year one guy that showed back up. We've seen Lee sporadically kind of over the last couple of years, and I said this a couple of times on commentary, just how surreal it was in 2023. All of the year ones, like the OG SHW folks, we had Danny Jordan, Ashton Starr, you had Owen Knight. Now those three are still pretty regular parts of the roster, but then you had guys like Joey Lynch, you had Lee Johnson, you had Alan Angels, who I mentioned, of course, David Ali returning after about a year away almost.
Yeah.
Give or take a little.
Has it been a year?
Was it last year's anniversary? So 10 months.
I'm
10
gonna
months?
have to just look back in my pics to see when.
We'll just say after a long time he came back.
It was October, right? It was the anniversary last year.
Now,
You
gotta catch. You have to catch Diana though, because Diana, she's not saying it wasn't like a full. It was just like he just comes back and he comes back and he comes back.
But hey, but you know what?
I told him, I said, I missed you, and I was brokenhearted when you left. But
hey, when you
wouldn't
leave your
very
house,
long.
when you leave your house, you always go home. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
And I hate to say it, but Southern Honor is David Ali's house.
It
It is
is.
Even though
house.
he might go for groceries, he might go to the mall. He's
Yeah.
gonna come home eventually.
He's coming home after he
He
don't
finishes
go
running
that
far.
all his errands, doing his
Yeah, he'll come
Christmas
back
shopping.
home.
He's coming
You know?
home.
And
Yeah.
let me
God
tell you,
love
there's
him.
nobody that loves coming home more than David Ali.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So,
That
Yeah,
part.
yeah. Very
That part.
But that's the
true.
We
thing,
do
like,
it-
and I
love
love
it so much. We do it so often.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we love it when he comes home. The same could be said for you,
Mhm.
Carlie. So
Yes.
it's like it's
Oh, yeah.
great
Yes.
when you guys decide to come back. Just like when
Yeah.
you and let's go ahead and talk about you for a second. We already touched on it at the beginning of the show, but you coming back, the crowd
Mhm.
absolutely receptive and singing along to the
Ridiculous.
music. It was
Ridiculous.
insane.
Ridiculous. I probably have, in my opinion, the best music in all of Southern Honor.
Mhm.
And that's my opinion.
No
and,
argument.
The people, I think I said this earlier, but I just felt like the people wanted to see me back. I wanted to be
Yes.
back. I felt like we've been waiting to see each other. I felt that love there. So in my opinion, probably biggest pop of the year at SHW. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's
That
massive.
was necessary. It
Mhm.
felt good to be home. I almost had it. I got to Final Four for the
Yes.
second
Yeah.
year in a row. They're gonna stop
Second
playing
year in
with
a
me.
row. Yeah, man.
Yes.
I love it. I
But
love it.
but there's those little schmucks again. Don't forget to
Yeah.
cover how they decided to mess up the entire RumbleJack.
I'll get there,
Yes.
but let me touch on a few other kind of surprises here before we get to the end of the match.
Jerks.
QT Marshall, how about him showing up
How about
Huge.
QT?
unexpectedly? QT
Huge.
showed up and hit everybody with a diamond cutter.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted QT really bad, man. QT taught me how to wrestle. I've never had a match with QT. I've never shared the ring with him. He's probably my number one person I want to work more than anybody in this world.
Book it.
Yes. I was hoping to disrespect his head off, but instead I caught a cutter. So ipso facto.
Yeah.
I went for it though.
He
I
got
went
a
for
couple
it.
of his former students. Angels being one of his oldest
Yes.
students. Not oldest age-wise, but just goes back the longest, back when it was still One Fall Power Factory before Nightmare. And
Yes.
Oh, no.
Angels coming off the top rope.
That's incredible
catching
too.
the cutter.
He came out looking great. QT came in. He's in shape. He's tan. He's got the hair. He had the body. I mean, he came in and he shut it down. Oh, he's got the stupid smile. He came in there. He came in there looking like $1 million. You know what I'm saying? And he knew it too. The reaction he got too from SHW was insane. No one saw that coming. And maybe that's because a lot of people do know that he's responsible for a lot of us that do come there. A lot of our moments in SHW we wouldn't have if he wouldn't have trained a lot of us to do our thing. So he came in there with a little smug self. So it's cool. I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
High five to Nathan Maurer for giving him a cutter.
Yeah, Nathan caught him with a diamond cutter. And here's what's funny, and I don't know if this will make this on the IWTV edit of the show. We'll just have to see once it gets released. But Nathan on his social media released a clip of him laying out QT with the cutter, and QT crosses his way over to the side of the ring, right in the front of the camera. And he goes, "Oh, he took my move," or something like that. But he's like in pain when he's saying it. It's very funny. I found it very humorous.
Man.
But
Shout
anyway,
out to Nathan, man.
So
Shout out
speaking
to
of Nathan,
Nathan's awesome.
before
He
I get to
is.
Nathan, let's talk about Dr. Luther showing up. The
Yes.
crazy man, half of a Chaos Project from AEW. The guy is a 35-year veteran deathmatch legend over in Japan, and now just a tag team division in AEW as well with Serpentico. And we know, and I think I touched on this on commentary, that Nathan's been training for a couple years now. In his first year of training, a big part of that was Luther. He was doing a lot of training with Luther, and what better way if you want to be a deathmatch wrestler than to train with Luther? And so Nathan gets in the ring, gets up on the top rope. Oh, when he came out, he set that can of whatever it was, flammable liquid on our table right in front of us. He gets on the top rope. Luther comes and grabs that spray can, sprays Nathan's arm, lights it on fire, and poor Sunny Days, laid out in the ring, takes a flaming elbow drop right to the heart. A flaming elbow drop. I've never called that in my life. A flaming elbow drop?
Yeah.
Blew my mind. It was
Yeah.
insane.
It was amazing.
I stomped him out after that.
You did.
Thankfully,
Most
somebody
certainly
put him out. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
Most certainly did.
Yes.
I was trying to win. I didn't want to set the ring on fire. I was trying to
right.
win. Get out of here.
I love
Sayonara.
That was insane. That was
Go
insane.
play in
On
the
a night,
yard. Go play in the yard.
a night full of insane moments. Of course. Let's touch on some stuff that's happened in the past few months. Movie Mike has had this obsession with Ashton Starr. We knew that both of them were going to be in the RumbleJack. So it looked like at one point Ashton was maybe kind of receptive and looked like they hugged and, oh, well, maybe they're going to team up here and Movie Mike's going to make him the star of the show. Well, I don't know if Movie Mike is aware of this, but Ashton is already the star of the show.
Right.
So Ashton turned right around and just threw him out of the ring, just like that.
He yelled cut right in the middle of that.
Right. So I don't know where that leads these two gentlemen. I don't know where it goes from here, but I have a feeling Movie Mike is not done with this infatuation with Ashton Starr, especially after Starr eliminated.
It's scary, man. I'm telling you, it's so single white female. It's ridiculous. It's scary. It is so scary. It is. I mean, it somebody watch Ashton's.
Yes. Yes. I love it.
It is so funny to me that we're talking about Movie Mike and Ashton Starr, and you compared it to single white female.
But it is.
I get it.
I love it.
I get it.
love
oh
it.
my God.
I
it's
love
so
it.
violent.
Anybody who knows anything knows Ashton ain't sharing no spotlight.
With
you know,
nobody.
Exactly.
What? He would rather die before he share a spotlight with somebody.
Thank you.
You know, so
And you're
Mike
gonna
was
hit him with a
asking for it.
chair and expect him to be your friend? Come on.
Prince Petty. His name is Prince Petty. You thought he was gonna forget that?
Right.
Preach,
Man.
Charlie. Preach. Preach.
Hey, it's crazy.
We had a bunch of other some legendary names showing up. We had Simon Sermon of all people showing
Wow.
up.
Yes.
David Young showing up,
Mhm.
former TNA legend. I mean, we had we had some younger guys showing up. Cole Carter from
Yeah.
AEW
Cole
showing up,
Carter?
part of the
Yeah.
formerly part of the factory
yeah.
with QT and
Mhm.
Lee
yeah.
Johnson, who I mentioned.
Yeah.
Another year one that I forgot to mention earlier, Jordan Kingsley, who
Yeah.
he's been a regular part of the roster up until about a
Couple
year
months.
ago. Like it's been a
Yeah.
while since he's been
It's been a
around.
while. Yeah.
So it was cool to see.
Until Carly beat him.
well,
well,
there you go.
that is true.
Sorry, guys. I had to
Carly
talk out
made
of
Jordan
cough.
the replacement.
Sorry. Oh, put that on a t-shirt.
Well,
Burn flames.
sorry, Jordan.
Wow.
But hey, it was good to
Sorry.
see him back. I will tell you
It
that.
Yeah, it
was.
was good to
Because
see
we
him.
missed Jordan
was.
while he's been gone.
Mhm.
Gosh, who else? Nick Halen, of course, was in. We saw him earlier in the night. He was a part of the RumbleJack. Zicky Dice, your boy,
Zicky!
Carly.
Yes.
Zicky
Yes.
Dice making
I
his
miss
return.
Gordo, but it was good to
Outlandish.
see. It was good to see him. Yes.
By the
I
way,
think it was, yeah.
Diana, I know you saw Gordo recently at the Outlandish Paradise. Gerard and I got to see him not too long ago when we were doing some stuff with Zicky, and he's gotten so big.
He's
He
massive.
is. He's so big and he's so heavy, but he's so lovable and cuddle.
He's
Oh.
so cute.
Yeah,
But when
he's a fat boy.
I went
Yes,
back
he
to that
is.
video from, was it a year ago or 2 years ago when
Yeah.
It was
hold him
last
up
year when
like
I was holding him.
Mhm.
like the Lion King in the ring,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he was so
Not no
tiny.
more.
He was
No
little.
more.
That dog eats prime rib for breakfast. That dog's a fatty.
Oh,
Not
Dude.
happening.
He
Mhm.
is healthy.
Gordo
He's a star.
Dice.
Very
star.
healthy.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
eating very well.
Mhm.
Gordo Dice. Well, since I mentioned Zicky Dice, Carly, of course, was there. David Ali was there, who I mentioned. Ashton Starr was there. And Danny Misdemeanor Jordan was
That's
there.
right.
And we had us a bit of a, shall I say, overkill reunion.
So much. Yes.
And the
It
crowd
was
was going.
so good.
The crowd was going nuts with the overkill chant, and the old Ryan Rembrandt was immediately regretting his decision to call out Danny Jordan, as you guys all had a piece of Ryan Rembrandt.
Hey, man, you don't mess with misdemeanor. That's the rule, bro. That's the rule. We might not all be seeing eye to eye. We might not all be in the same place, but you don't mess with misdemeanor. And as soon as you do, as soon as we see her come down, we already knew what it was. She's like the rallying point for the rest of us.
Mhm.
You know, it was wonderful to hear the crowd behind us on that. You know, that was a big Georgia thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah,
to
yeah.
see that finally in Southern Honor, to see that the
Thank
fans were really you know it.
Because
You
it
know
was
it, right?
never
Like,
unleashed in Southern
makes
Honor. It was never
no
unleashed. But
sense to
finally,
me. You know,
Finally.
but to see it there, it was wonderful, and it felt good to be back with my brothers and my sister. Man,
Oh, yeah.
that was an epic moment.
You know, it was
Yes.
cool, because at one point we had, and they were even former tag team champions, where you had Ashton and Zicky tagging together, and it was never officially on the graphics or anything like that where they ever called overkill, but you would hear little chants here and there from the crowd.
because
Like-
Georgia knows.
Right. And so
Yes.
we wondered, like, is it only a matter of time before overkill comes in and runs things? But it never officially happened in SHW, to your point. And it was cool to see that moment that reunion of sorts at the RumbleJack.
But here's the thing. Right? But like, is Overkill not running things? Because last I checked, I mean, we didn't get there yet, but last I checked, Overkill won the RumbleJack. You know, last I checked,
this is true.
Two members of Overkill are all elite. Last I checked, you know, we still are here. So we might not be the way everybody wanted it to be there, but our fingerprints are all over.
Kind of like reminds me of back in the 90s when a little group called the Click went to different companies and kind of took over here, took over there.
My language. Now you're talking my language.
I see where you're coming from, Carlie. That's
very good. Which in essence means that it's a win.
Yeah,
it's always a win for us. It's always a win for us. And we're never breaking up, and we're always here. Hey, listen, if Endgame get a little bit too big for their britches, don't think David's out there and Southern Honor by himself. I'll just leave that there.
Because he's kind of put himself in a triple match with what was it, Corey and Gunner?
So we saw the poster for next month. Now I don't know that it's been officially announced yet, but it looks like we may have us a 6-man tag. And yeah, you're right. David, Gunner, Corey against Endgame.
Okay, true. All right, it hasn't been announced, but this is like WrestleMania, right? I refuse to not look through the third wall, right? Like SHW RumbleJack is like Mania. We know it. It's like Royal Rumble. We know what it means. If you win the RumbleJack, we know what you get. So I'm not gonna pretend on nobody. We know who won, and we know what he's owed. You know, and I'm not gonna go ahead of myself, but we know why that's a problem for some people in Endgame. You know, I'll let you guys cover that. Get there! I'm excited.
I know. So we know that big title match is coming at the anniversary show. So that's in October, and then we got to get through next month as well before we get there. But anyways, before we get on all that, let's finish up RumbleJack, of course. Let me just name a few names real quick that I didn't name because I don't want people coming after me. Hey, why didn't you name me on the recap show? So let me Trey Shaw made his debut. He didn't last very long, but it was good to see him. The Grapplers. There were two of them.
Probably the hardest spot in the Rumble, Trey Shaw's. Probably the hardest spot in the entire Rumble. I'll give the kid his due.
No, absolutely.
Give the kid his due.
And he didn't last long, and it's unfortunate because I said when he came out, you're making your debut in the company, and you have to do it with those two monsters in the ring.
Right. But hey, he also showed moxie. He went out there with his head up. He went out there swinging. He went out there kicking. So I'll give the kid his due.
And he exited gracefully backwards over the rope. But I
don't know if you have a choice to exit gracefully when them two are in the ring, but he went for it.
Yeah. We saw Skrilla the Great return. He's no stranger to the RumbleJack. Always good to see Skrilla. Zach Buchanan making his debut. The son of Bull Buchanan and brother of Ben Buchanan, who gave a valiant effort. Of course, Kyle Matthews returned earlier in the night. He came back, was part of the RumbleJack. He and Chip Day as well was part of the RumbleJack, and they both got eliminated by the Kenway. Of all people. Of course
it did.
And so it looked like a moment there where Kenway and Chip Day may have made amends, and maybe he was trying to get Chip Day to come back into the hierarchy, and then that didn't last long. And so
we also saw a slightly edgier version of the Kenway.
The Kenway using some underhanded tactics to get ahead during the match.
I don't know if that's in the DNA or what, but it's very interesting.
Hey guys, it's in the name. It's in the name. It's nobody else's. It's the Ken way. Okay, and believe that you will start seeing that soon. He's been telling y'all all along.
You're right.
It's a good point.
You're right.
Let's see. Who did I name? Cole Carter. I mentioned Cole Carter. Let's see. Ryan Rembrandt, who I mentioned, came face to face with all of Overkill. Unfortunately for him.
Bless his heart.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mentioned Jordan Kingsley, and the final entrant was Najicism. Najicism putting it out there on social media that he thought there was a conspiracy against him ever since Owen Knight turned on him a few months ago when they had that tag team title match. And he was claiming, he hadn't been officially invited into the RumbleJack, and Southern Honor's kind of been, I guess, ignoring him since Owen turned on him. And I don't know who got in his head about this conspiracy thing. I never saw that there was any kind of conspiracy, but he ended up getting invited from somebody because he was he had the best spot in the whole Rumble.
I was going to say that's not a conspiracy at all.
Yeah,
he had the best spot in the Rumble, and then I'm over there kicking someone's head off, and I turn my head, and he eliminated himself to take out Owen Knight. Did anybody see that?
I saw that.
So I was bugging out. He waved us off and just went after Owen, and it just fought to the back. I don't know what's up with Owen and him.
No.
So yeah, ever since Owen turned on him, clearly Naja has not forgotten. Now I mentioned Kyle and Chip a few minutes ago. if you recall last year, same thing happened. Chip ran in and he didn't even care about winning the RumbleJack. He immediately eliminated Chip, eliminated himself to go after Chip. And that's the same thing that happened here with Naja and what are you laughing about? What did I miss?
You froze.
Oh no, you got stuck for a second, but
okay.
You're good. You're good.
It's funny because y'all, that happens on my end. If I'm still going, one of y'all might freeze. But don't worry, it's all recording. All the audio is clean. We're good. But I just see Diana laughing. I'm like, what did I do now? What did I say? What did I say this time?
Oh, I can laugh at anything. You should know by now.
Anyway, so Naja, you're right. Naja eliminating Owen. Naja eliminating himself. Okay, now let's talk about the three chuckleheads. Bryce Cannon. He came in. Where did he go? He came about midway. He came in at 14. Who are the final four?
Who are we down to? We're down to David?
Yeah, Zach and Pep came in back to back. A few later came in Bryce Cannon. So here's the thing, and I'll even admit, here's where
They wasn't even there. They wasn't even there.
Here's where I got confused. They got taken out early in the match by the hierarchy, but they never went over the top rope. And 30 or 40 minutes later, once we got towards the end, I completely forgot they had not been officially eliminated. So when it came down to David and Bryce Cannon and Pep and Mosley returned, I'm thinking
wrong. David, Bryce Cannon,
sorry.
Bad News and Tattoos. I was going to win that damn thing.
Sorry. How dare I over their guest here tonight? My bad. The final three. Let's talk about the final three.
Me.
My bad. How dare I?
How dare you?
After you, unfortunately, we're eliminated.
Got played out.
I mean, I didn't want to. That's the thing. I was trying to just jump over. I didn't want to bring it up. I thought it was a sore subject. That's all.
They attacked me from behind, and then that schmuck did my freaking move to me. I saw the footage.
I even said the disrespect of doing the disrespect.
I had like 7 friends outside there looking for him. I don't know where they went. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Somebody got to do something about them dudes, yo.
Well, when you go back and watch it on IWTV, what's that?
What?
Go ahead.
Sorry. That time it did freeze up on me. What did you say, Diana? Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So if you do go back and watch it on IWTV, you will hear the confusion in my voice because I'm totally confused, as I think the crowd was too, because I had forgotten that they were not officially thrown over the top rope. They were taken out, through the ropes by the hierarchy earlier in the match. So I'm a little confused, and Bryce is yelling at us at the table that they've won, they've eliminated Carlie, they've eliminated David, and I'm yelling at him, no, we got to wait for the Lumberjacks, and you idiots, blah, 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 blah. And then Diana finally announces, once David eliminates those guys, that they've been eliminated. And you hear GB and I both go, oh, oh, yeah. So, I think the crowd was confused. We were a little confused, but officially, it was correct. Diana announced it when they officially got eliminated. And then it was David, Bryce Cannon. The Lumberjacks come out. Not only did the Lumberjacks come out, the Lumberjack enforcer led the way, the one and only legendary Butterbean, who you touched on this earlier, Diana. And I know last month I just was raving about how my favorite moment ever was Bryce Cannon getting the DDT from Jake the Snake, tip first right into the canvas. Well, one of my favorite moments the other night was Butterbean delivering that fist just like he did to Bart Gunn and laying him out back in the day. He laid out Pepper Bottom. Oh, and it was beautiful. It was so sweet.
You know what's impressive is Pep is so tiny. He can take so much and still come back. I don't understand. Is he
like a mosquito?
I don't
Carlie
know.
said
He is like the mosquito.
He's like their Spike Dudley. You could just abuse him and he'll be back tomorrow. It makes no sense. Makes no sense. Yeah. I don't know where they found that kid, but that kid is indestructible. Jesus Christ.
You're right.
It's fun to beat up though.
You are right. Well, I will. I know it's not popular to do this here, but I do want to give some props to Bryce Cannon to making it to the final 2 in his first ever appearance at the RumbleJack. Well, it's pretty amazing. I mean, like usually in your first
it was
time
not
in the
his,
RumbleJack,
it was not his first time, GB. We've been over this. We went over this on the pre-show.
Okay.
We went over this on commentary.
Let me help everybody. What happened last year at the Rumble?
This is what happens is Exotic Youth tries to pull us apart. They get us arguing and they try to pull us apart.
Are the facts, and the facts are that Bryce Cannon, had never been in a RumbleJack before. His cousin or distant relative was in last year named Brandon Canyon.
I remember Brandon Canyon. He was a good guy.
And apparently,
Carlie, don't you start.
Canyon. No,
I remember that guy.
Carlie
Brandon was there.
in a mask.
Don't you start.
And Mr. Canyon obviously gave some tips to Cannon and allowed Cannon to actually
and some
make
hair
it
gel.
all the and allowed him to make it all the way to the final two, which is pretty impressive for first. Matter of fact, it's the best first time appearance since Carlie Bravo last year.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Carlie
Bravo's up here. Brandon Canyon was like right here. Brandon Canyon, and that tip is hereditary. That's in their family. They all have it. It's a thing.
Carlie,
they all look exactly alike. It's crazy.
It totally is. So,
but his cousin Bryce, I don't like him.
Yeah. So congratulations to it clearly runs in the family, and congratulations to Bryce for making it as far as he did in his first ever RumbleJack. Impressive.
Listen, just real quick, side note, little inside baseball. What's funny is when I went back and watched the previous RumbleJacks last year, if you listen to commentary, it's the opposite. I'm going, no, that's Brandon Canyon. And GB is like, no, he looks real familiar. I'm going, no, that's Brandon. We don't know him. It's so funny.
Well, I learned
365 days later.
I think we learned. I think Brandon learned the truth.
No, me and GB went to Waffle House last year with Brandon Canyon.
Oh,
and it was clear, totally different guy than Bryce. He's not even a Bryce fan. He hates Bryce. It's crazy.
He's actually nice.
They order different food and everything. It's just
crazy. It's crazy. It's bananas. Yeah. You would never know.
Yeah.
BANANAS. Oh, I tell you what.
But in the end, guys, who won? All the buffoonery, all the foul play, all the exotic sleuths talking all that nonsense and interjecting themselves in.
Yeah.
And say SHW was saved at the end of the night.
Thank you for bringing us around, Carlie. I appreciate that. Bringing us to the end. David Ali, your winner of the 5th annual RumbleJack, former SHW champion, first-time RumbleJack winner, and now he gets a title shot. It's going to be at Still Here 5 in October, our 5th anniversary show. And as we touched on a little earlier, he has laid out the challenge for a 6-man tag match at SHW 54 in September 8th, as a matter of fact. It's actually the second Friday, so put it on your calendar. Don't forget. Yes. And it looks like if that gets made official, it will be David, Gunner, and Corey taking on the members of the Endgame, who David called Todrick, Judy, and Little Nikki, if I'm not mistaken.
Proud of him.
Yeah.
I'm so proud
of him. I
kind of
like that.
By the way, he mentioned that, and then there was a Judy chant.
There really was, which actually scares me.
I didn't have anything to do with it. GB didn't have anything to do with it, but the crowd
it's all fun and games until Judas hears that. And then,
exactly.
You have to deal with that.
Oof. Anyway,
but do you guys mind explaining really fast, because I know we're running, why that is so awesome that David won the RumbleJack? Why should that be trouble for Endgame? You guys know.
Because, and David mentioned in the ring, there's only one person that's pinned Judas in 5 years, I think?
I think 3 or 4 years. 3 or 4 years.
Something like that. It's been a long time. And that only person to do it, David Ali.
David Ali. Also, you add into that Todd Sexton is considered a mentor for David Ali. And so if there's anybody who knows how the end game ticks better, nobody knows them better than David Ali. So David Ali really is the biggest threat to the end game's, reign of terror in SHW. My concern right now is the anniversary show is 2 months away, and we have this show coming up in September. It feels like the end game would want to do all they can to ensure that David Ali either doesn't make it to Still Here 5 or makes it wounded and less than 100%. So I hope for David Ali, he's got some plans in place to ensure that he's safe, not just in the match, but after the match.
He's got a couple troops in his pocket, we'll say. But I will also say this: Ali is his best when he's saving something. I know that seems weird, not when he loves to destroy things, but he's his best when he's saving something. You put his back against the wall and you make him start swinging. That's when you really get who you want to see. So we'll see.
Wow.
I'm excited. I'm excited, man.
Yeah.
Woo, it's going to be good the next couple of months. We talked about we were on the road to RumbleJack. Now we're on the road to Still Here 5, and it's going to be here before you know it. But like you said, we got to get through September 1st and or September 8th. But you know what I mean? September before. You know what I mean? Anyways, I'm still all worked up about Brandon Canyon and Bryce Cannon. And anyways,
Totally
Let it
different
go,
dudes.
B.
Totally different people.
Let it
Two different
go.
dudes.
They are.
Two different dudes. dude.
I just love how we flip-flopped 1 year later. It just cracks me up. Anyways,
people.
that's going to do it, I think, for this episode. I think we covered as much as we can cover. But Carlie Bravo, let me just tell you, my man, anytime you want to stop by and chat with us, we love having you, and we
Thank you,
love
guys.
you. We miss you.
Thank you, guys.
And it was so good to see you Friday.
So
I love you
proud.
guys.
We
I
are
love you
so
guys so
proud.
much. I
We
love you
love
guys
you.
so much. I'm not
Yeah.
going nowhere. This is home. You know what I'm saying? SH stands for still home for me. You know what I'm
love
saying?
it.
So this
Love
is
it.
this
I
is
love
forever my crib. I'm not going nowhere.
I love it.
This was a good episode of the Carlie Bravo show. I love this.
It was.
Yeah.
And
Good to all you
and
guys.
we're
Good to
gonna-
all
Speaking
you
of, I still need my shirt.
Baby,
Hey.
I
guys.
still need
got
my
you.
CBS
Hey,
shirt.
I went crazy. Hey, I got one for you guys. I actually sold them last time. I was going crazy at the show.
All
I
right.
got some for you guys. I will leave them at the action
Awesome.
building for the both of you, all three of you guys.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Love
So
you.
again, I think this is gonna be one of those shows that we'll bookmark for all of the great things
Yeah.
that happened in this show. And you'll want to bookmark it because this may not be the last time that the three of us in some way call some action for Carlie Bravo. Just saying. You
Not
might
the
want
last
to bookmark that because you'll replay this sooner than later.
one day.
Hey, remember
Hey,
when
listen.
they said, yeah.
Listen to me. If I even get an inkling that this little trio of a thing is separating, I will be back before it goes. Okay, I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? This is us. We're a quartet now, guys. We're a
This
quartet.
That's right.
is us.
That's
I
right.
love it. I
Love
love it.
you.
And in case you guys don't know, because they won't say it, I'm certain of it. Diana Michelle had a big piece of news this week, as she has her own pro wrestling tees store. It is
I launched it this week.
Is launched
With
it
the
this
sexy
week.
silhouette shirt. I've seen it. I'm buying
Yes.
it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm on
So
it.
Yes,
now the
that's
world can
right.
actually get in on all of the good Diana Michelle gear. So make sure you guys go check it out at prowrestlingtees.com and search
Yes.
for Diana Michelle.
Boom. Well, there you have it. Carlie, any final words? We're going to give you the final word here before we do our official show close.
Yeah. Cap don't cap. Trish can't miss, and win or lose. Bad news and tattoos. I'm stubbing on it to the death, baby. Yeah,
Absolutely,
absolutely.
man.
Yeah.
Love
Thank
you,
you,
brother.
guys.
That's
Love
going to
you
do
guys.
it. We will see you next week. But until we do, this has been
SHW.
This is our wrestling.
Oh,
Bam.
yeah. Yes.